All right. This is the first attempt, of course. We didn't just have a terrible game in the Burrasque. So first game in the Burrasque. What is this tank? It's a tier 8 French medium premium. Just got put into the game. 2-shot autoloader for 360 damage each. 190 pen is one big downside to it. Bad aiming time and bad gun handling in general also is kind of shitty. This is very much a support flanking tank. You can't really take a front line. It cannot hold it on its own very well at all, as after you're done with your double 360 shots, you're pretty much completely worthless. So you got to be aware of your positioning and position reasonably well in this to not get completely dumpstered. It's pretty fast. So that is something you got going for you. You really have to use that mobility to get into good spots, good places, and get some early nice damage and surprise your enemies. But enough chatting around, let's get into the game. Alright, tier 9 on a losing spawn. Very cool. Not really a good map for us. We can play the north part of it. This is the losing spawn, and very often there's just nothing you can do to rent from here, but I mean, we're gonna try. We're gonna start by trying to spot light tanks here from this area over here, and then try to spot and counter people that are playing up north. Kind of the only thing you can do from this side. There are a bunch of trees there we can use as double cover, but or double bush cover, but they can be quite dodgy at times, so we gotta be kind of careful on how we do it. But hopefully we have enough mobility to be able to push down some trees and then do the scouting. Not really looking for an epic game here, as once again, losing spawn on this map can be very tricky to do anything from very often. On the positive, I guess there's a lot of heavy tanks in this, which kind of mitigates the stupidity of this map, because heavy tanks generally go south and there's a really narrow bottleneck there. To be fair though, from the enemy team, you can just go into the ditch in the middle and just push up this flank, which is usually how they win. But there might not be too many tanks up north, especially with both of their light tanks already being spotted somewhere else. Pushing down some trees to start. Alright, that's a really good start for us. That's what we were looking for. And now we have to be looking for these dudes here. What are their medium tanks? They have a Skoda. And they have a bunch of other stuff. T-44, a Lorraine. There's the Skoda. Dude. This position just lacks consistency lately for me. I've been spotted way more often than I ever used to. Maybe I'm doing a poor job pushing these trees down. Maybe that's the reason why. D5 is getting shot in the back. But yeah, I probably did a bad job pushing these trees down. Oh, that's a lot of stuff up north. And our T-55 is getting shot in the back, probably by an ELC Kent even. But I don't think he's just getting shot in the back. He's getting shot in everywhere. I'm gonna go for a quick reload here. I don't think it's worth holding on to the one shot. Kind of a tricky start to this game. We could also just ignore all of this and join the 69, but there's a Lorraine there on enough health to take me down. That's enough health to take me down doesn't really mean much when I'm a one shot, basically. I'm not really sure what that T69 is doing. Kind of dodgy, this angle right now. Yeah, it's really bad. I didn't do a really good job of pushing these trees down, for which I'm gonna probably pay quite a lot. I don't want to shoot. I think I'm gonna get spotted. Yeah, I'm getting spotting on both of them. So we're just gonna chill here. We have some big TDs supporting, so if these guys commit, those two dudes should shoot them nicely. Not getting spotting on that anymore. I don't really want to move too much, knowing my history of getting spotted here, but kind of want to do something. It's only the ELC shooting at them as well, so it's gonna take forever for any reasonable damage to be done here. I mean, maybe I should risk it. Like, I'm never gonna have a good game if I just sit here anyways, right? Alright. Managed to push down a tree and not get murdered for it, as they all saw it falling, but... Alright, should be able to unload here. Goddamn caravan side armor, huh? Yeah, wasted shot. The DPM really is gonna start showing its ugly face. It's not like it's horrible DPM here, but it's definitely not great. If you fuck up one shot, it's just kind of all is lost. So this is tier 8 heavy. I don't have a good pen mark anywhere on, which is rather unfortunate. Like, look at this shit. It's not even a well-armored tier 8 heavy, but it's just nothing I can do, it seems. This is very sad, very sad. There is like a tiny cupola, but with this gun, shooting at that is not really all that useful. Just press 2. That is the way to counter him. Dude, you would think that this lower plate from a tier 7 heavy shouldn't be that good, but I guess it is. Alright. That 360 alpha is very neat though. Your high rolls can be quite the nice. Alright. Seems to be a pretty average game. Got caught out really badly by the Škoda, and now dealing with this IS-22 is also kind of annoying for me. Is I don't have clean pens on him at all. There we go. Alright, so that's that guy taken care of, and now we need to see where the rest of them went. Probably go for another reload. Fortunately, I'm a one-shot for the Foch TD. You can also just go south and snipe Artie. Oh, I am loading the gold. Weird. Didn't really need to and didn't really want to, but, you know, strong misclicks. Foch being a one-shot for Foch, yeah. What an absolute meme. Is this guy still here? He is. Very neat. Both of us are one-shots. This is gonna be so annoying, man. Unless we can maybe get some silly angle over the rocks. But no, our turret is gonna stick out probably. Yeah, both of those were very unlikely to do anything, especially the second one after it turned around. Well, we have a sacrifice, a noble sacrifice in a derp 704 going in for the kill, or for getting shot at a lot. One more. There we go. Very neat. An extra 2 shots I'll take. I don't know what the rest of our team is doing and why is it taking so long, but is unloading. I'm not a one-shot farm anyways. Oh, come on, man. Do I out-reload a Škoda? Not really, right? It's very close. It's very close. Alright, he's on the move. Robbed. In just a bit. It's not too bad. The robbing. Not a one-shot, so I should go for it just to get that extra shot in. To just kill him. Nice. That's a nice game for me in the end. managed to win from the losing spawn. Would say this is just the amount of heavy tanks in this matchmaking and the fact that they went north with stuff like the caravan instead of the middle. If they went middle, we would really have struggled in this game, but they didn't. They didn't do that, so it was fine. Still no ace. Have I even aced this yet? No. Kind of shows where this tank is at and how much potential it has more than anything else. With the high XP games, I was sniping quite a bit, so that explains the lowish XP that is. But still a solid game. Managed to be quite useful in those bushes in the back there. And after my first blunder there against the Skoda, we actually managed to not get spotted for shooting from there. All right, second game on Redshire. Once again, tier 9. This time we have 2 light tanks and a bunch more mediums. Again, a spawn that I would call a losing spawn, but it's not that bad without EBRs. Not that bad without EBRs. Is this a review? It's kind of supposed to be, yeah. Probably gonna start off by playing here and seeing what comes up. But yeah, as you can see with this tank, like the firepower is super good when you're loaded, but then you have a very long time of nothingness in between, and your gun is unreliable, so not nailing both shots suddenly makes this not very good at all. And it's not too difficult not to nail both shots with this gun handling. But if you're close enough and sneaky enough, then it definitely does the damage. And 360 alpha is very nice compared to a lot of other stuff we get here. I just shot that second shot because I'm not gonna do anything else with it anyways. Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell. Could have been really bad for me to back shot position, but we got away with it. We got away with it. Okay. Don't think I'll have anything on that 69 yet here. Another thing this tank doesn't really do all too well is fighting the general hull down meta, as you know, I can't really do hull down in this. And that becomes a bit of a problem, right? Oh, what a shot. Yeah, this is just not a fight for me, huh? What's that batch? Oh, that's never mind. That's an EBR. Oh, I didn't notice that we actually had a massive advantage in this game from the get-go because of the EBR. All right. I think I'm gonna put faith in the fact that there's no one playing. Wow. There's no one playing that sniper angle, looking how the EBR is driving around and not getting punished for his play. Nah. Not a good shot. And there's that bad pen coming into play. Oh, there is a 704 up there. Very neat. Oh man, just really rough in this matchup. I guess it's due to the amount of medium tanks. Like, it's hard to counter medium tanks with some armor in this, as you don't have any armor to work with at all, and your gun just doesn't handle shooting at anything with any resemblance of front. So yeah, it's a bit tricky here. A bit tricky.
Critical hit.
Got our second shot in. If we get spotted here, that 704 has a really good chance to just end me again. I'm not in cover against him at all right now. It's kind of bizarre that he's just sitting back there when his own flank is failing so horribly. But it is the way he wanted to play this. Alright, he's left the the premise, we can definitely move and get a better spot to work with here. This pushing down this tree usually gives you quite a bit of room to work with here. Probably not enough to shoot twice, but unless we can shoot at this guy. Oh, that shell velocity. Kind of dodgy if I'm even behind the bush there or not. But yeah, you can see, like, I'm not able to position as well as I was in the last game on this map, and it just kind of this tank just kind of collapses. As, you know, there's just not much you can do at range against any armor, and even without armor, the shell velocity is so bad, it's very tricky to even hit stuff at anything but point blank in this thing. Probably go for a reload. I could just completely change my game right now and go for those two dudes. At least that's like isolated close range fight where we might get some flanking in to just make this look better on paper, because this game is over already anyways. It could be a problem if they all just ran off. Which they didn't quite do yet, but the T10 is still missing. Oh, there he is. This is not what I came here for, man. Holy crap. Alright, that's better. Not my spotting, though. But yeah, pretty shitty game, but I think it's a fair game for this tank. It just shows where this tank just falls short. In these kind of longer range fights, it's just not really there at all. Too late on the tracking, didn't get anything for it. Unfortunately. Alright. 1300. Yeah. I mean, it's a fair game for this thing. It just kind of shows where the clunkiness and like how situationally it can be quite bad comes into play. Like, and this is why, for me, this tank does not really compete with a Progetto. Imagine being a Progetto in that last game, just having that constant rate of fire, having significantly better gun handling, pen, and shell velocity. I'm not sure about shell velocity actually, but yeah, it just kind of, you know, way more situational, and it doesn't really have that much going for over the Progetto. You're sure you can do a lot of damage very quickly, but over time it all kind of evens out, and this becomes quite a bit worse than the Progetto. What about Lorraine? I think the Lorraine is worse. I think the Lorraine has kind of outshine his glory days right now, with the game introducing more and more armored stuff that the Lorraine has to aim for a while to pen, and the Lorraine doesn't unload very quickly, so you're very often just left off trying to snipe pixels of tanks that just, you know, shoot back at you and do damage very quickly. Haven't played the Lorraine, to be fair, in a while, so maybe I'm just full of shit, but I don't think the Lorraine is really up there anymore with the Progetto. And it's kind of there with this tank. And I think that kind of, like, situationally, one of them will be better than the other. But it's also way more clunky than the Progetto with the big mag. Very much a longer range support tank, and you know, compared to this, the longer range works quite a bit better because you have more pen on the Lorraine, so you don't mind sniping that much. But with this tank, you really have to be careful. Like, you saw that was a red pen mark on a T-34 front, right? Like, you don't get that in a Lorraine or a Progetto, and that's kind of where this starts falling short. Also, this matchmaking, how many light tanks is that? 3 BRs in our team. Wonder, is that premium tank OP or something? He's a guard. And here it seems that we're very often just it boils down for us to just you know, peek behind a bush, shoot once, and leave, and that kind of completely kills the purpose of this autoloader, right? But hey, it's free damage, we're taking it, of course. As you'd imagine. Not sure what the hell that flanking was all about there. Don't really want to overcommit anywhere because I don't have the armor to back it up. And you know, I don't mean like brawl against them. I don't have the armor to not get overmatched in any angle that they decide to shoot at me, which becomes a problem. Also don't have any pen to mess with a T28 prototype either, though, to be fair, so... You could say maybe this is not the right place for this tank, and maybe you're right, but from the other hand, like, playing the field and being locked to those long-range shots is not much better, if any better, at all, so... Kind of awkward timing on that Scorpion. Gonna take the tracking here. Thanks, IS. I had to shoot without aiming because of that IS going in the way. Dude, team, are we serious? How are we not killing that Scorpion, boys? Oh, man. That's a -1 at least. Really hurts to take that one. Take this one all day, I guess. Come on, ISU. And look at that. Fucking 3 shots later, we're 1 shot and we're dead. I think this is kind of a fair review for this tank. It's very clunky, very situational, but when it works great, but... Getting into that fucking perfect matchmaking where this tank is actually playable to its strengths is really tricky, and that's why I wouldn't really recommend this tank too much to people. Like, sure, it has the fun element of the autoloader, but I think there's just better choices in the game. So, yeah. What about this tank on frontline? I think it's terrible. Like, frontline is, like, exactly everything you don't want in this tank. Long-range fights. I mean, sure, there are no highly armored targets, but... Even still, I think this tank's not very good in frontline at all compared to the alternatives that everyone else is playing, like the Progetto, EBRs, and, you know, all the other bullshit. One thing to mention, though, of course, if you don't want to make any credits, so I don't know why you bought a premium tank, but if you don't want to make any credits, you can just load full gold and get rid of one of the biggest weaknesses in this tank, but it wouldn't be enough still, because even if you can pen all your shots, you still have this amazingly clunky autoloader with the really long reloads in between, so I don't think it really makes up for the struggle that is this tank, the full gold loading, so I mean this team is pretty bad, all things considered, but yeah. I think this tank's alright. I wouldn't really recommend it and call it OP. Is it like a bad addition to the game? Probably. I don't think we need more, you know, complete paper, insane firepower autoloaders in the game. I think we have enough of those already, but as far as this tank goes by itself, I don't think it's too good, actually. I think it's, like, it's definitely good, but it's nowhere near the top echelon of tier 8 premiums, so take it as you wish. These are all 4 games in this. I mean, how are we doing statistically? I still haven't aced this, so maybe I'm just full of shit, but... I mean, our average damage is really good, so maybe this tank is really good. It's just situational. And that situational nature of it can actually be quite frustrating to deal with a lot of the time, so yeah. I think that's as fair as a review as I can give to this thing. Anyways.